So I've been using BenQ monitors as my main display for the better part of 4 years in my desk setup. And BenQ is known for making these ultra high quality and professional monitors that pairs exceptionally well with your Apple ecosystem, whether it is your MacBook Air, your MacBook Pro, or even now the iPad Pro with iPadOS 26. But what people don't know is that BenQ makes two different types of series monitors for Apple, which is going to be their MA series, which is for the everyday casual user that still wants ultra high quality, but they don't want to spend the top dollar for the PD monitor, which is going to be a more professional grade for the professional designer that's using their monitor as a reference tool that's going to generate them actual revenue, and they can still use it for everyday use. So without further ado, let's compare these two and see which one's worth your hard-earned money and who should go for the MA series versus the PD series. Let's get into it. So let's do a quick rundown of the specs of each one of these monitors, because there is a decent amount of overlap, which is great from a value play on the MA series, but then of course the PD series does go a step above and beyond to differentiate itself a little bit. But to start off with the MA270U, this is a true 4K nano matte finish when it comes to the actual panel itself. You get a 27-inch IPS LED panel with a 3840 by 2160 resolution, giving you that true 4K. You do get 400 nits of brightness, and while the number isn't going to be mind-blowing, it's still more than bright enough to use it in indoor environments, even when you are in a very well-lit room or if you rely on a lot of natural sunlight. Now, another thing that I like about both of these monitors is that you get a bunch of I/O on here, so it's almost like you have a built-in USB-C hub in each one of these monitors. And to start off with the MA1, you do get one USB-C port, which gives you a DisplayPort alt mode, data, and a 90-watt power delivery, so it is a true single cable solution. You also get two HDMI 2.0 ports, you get two USB-A ports, you get an additional USB-C downstream port, which also supports 3.2 Gen 1 speeds, as well as 15 watts of fast charging, and you get a 3.5mm headphone jack. So you get all the basic I/O that you would need to have a good setup. And then next up, to talk about some of the specs of the 27-inch 5K monitor, which is going to be BenQ's PD2730S. Again, this is going to be a 27-inch IPS LED panel, but instead of 4K, you get a true 5K display here, giving you a 5120 by 2880 resolution. And it also supports HDR10 as well as the display HDR400. Now this is where it starts to kind of differentiate itself a little bit more. You do get a better contrast ratio of 2000:1. You also get a color accuracy of 100% of the sRGB, as well as 100% of the REC 709 and 98% of the P3 color gamut, as opposed to 95%. It is also fully factory calibrated for you guys to check that out, and it comes in a nano coating display, meaning that it's also a matte finish, and they do take care of you from an eye perspective with their new eye care tech, which is all flicker free and supports all that blue light sensitivity. Another way that you get some more differentiation with the PD monitor is going to be with the I/O on this display. Not only do you get some better selection, but also higher quality selection. For example, you get one HDMI 2.1 port as opposed to 2.0, you get a DisplayPort 1.4, you get a true Thunderbolt 4 input, which also acts as your 90-watt PD charger and supports all data pass-through as fast as you can possibly do, and then you also have another Thunderbolt 4 port for output, which supports 15-watt PD fast charging and supports daisy chaining as well. You get a USB-C upstream port, which supports USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds. You have two USB-A downstream ports with also that same Gen 2 3.2 speeds. You get an additional USB-A downstream port, and then another USB-C downstream port. So you get in a bunch of I/O here, all with the best in class in terms of data pass-through and data speed transfer. So just with the I/O that I mentioned, as well as some of the display tech that I've been mentioning, you can start to see what the differences are from a price point perspective. Now, to reiterate here, the MA series, the 27-inch one, starts at $549 as of recording this video, and the PD series does start at $1199 as of recording this video. So you're paying pretty much double the price for the PD monitor, and you are getting a lot more value out of it when it comes to that. But the MA series is still great value overall. So when it comes to the MA series, it's pretty much everyday excellence for the Mac and everyday user. So the MA270U brings BenQ's premium build and color accuracy to a wider audience. It's sharp, it's vibrant, it's built for anyone who wants a beautiful 4K monitor that feels tailor-made for the MacBook, because again, these are made primarily for MacBooks. Of course, they're going to work for Windows machines and other computers, but they're built in with an MBook mode, giving you the best color accuracy and representation that's on your MacBook display on these BenQ displays. But now, if you want to take it a notch up with the PD monitor, again, this is going to be for professional precision. This is somebody who's using it on a professional basis, and they rely heavily on color accuracy and pixel density. The 5K panel gives you more space and it's incredibly detailed. And like I mentioned, the 5K display gives you so much more room. Even though they're both 27-inch monitors, you get so much more room to play with, and you can have many more things open and still be kind of visually there without it overlapping each other. And Thunderbolt 4 just means that it's all high quality and at the utmost and highest speeds when it comes to a monitor at this price point. So essentially you get a Thunderbolt 4 hub built directly into here, and Thunderbolt 4 hubs I think are anywhere from $300 to $450 right now. So if you kind of add that cost into the equation, you're really getting a lot of value out of the $1,100 that you're spending on the PD monitor. So again, both of these monitors deliver BenQ's incredible display quality. They're just optimized for two different types of users. So instead of one being better than the other, they simply lead down two different paths at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, if you want everyday creative quality that matches your MacBook perfectly, then the MA is going to be the one for you, especially if you're a little bit more on a budget and you want to not spend $1,100 on a monitor. But if you want the ultimate precision and workspace of a 5K studio display and you want that studio display killer, go with the PD version because it gives you all that color accuracy that we mentioned earlier and is a Thunderbolt 4 hub directly built into this monitor alone, which like I said is like a $400 value at the end of the day. But big shout out to BenQ for partnering up with 9to5Mac. Like I mentioned, even before they sponsored us, I use BenQ monitors on a daily basis. My main monitor right now is that 27-inch PD monitor that I use every single day with both my Mac Mini as well as my iPad Pro, and it's been the best monitor I've ever used. So big shout out to BenQ again for partnering up with 9to5Mac. I will leave both of these monitors listed down below for you guys to check out. And again, holiday season's coming around the corner, so maybe treat yourself or somebody to one of these nice monitors. But that'll do it, everybody. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin. And if you want to watch more videos like this, check out one of these videos right here. Until next time, I'm Fernando. Peace, everyone.